Alright everyone, this is Kei Natsuki here, back at it again, and today I'm making a second part for a what if called What If Naruto Was a Cybertronian Human Hybrid. And don't worry, I have seen how many views my biggest hit has, as and my biggest vid has, so yeah, I'll be making a second part of that right after this one, as pretty much last time we left off, Kaguya was sort of stalking Naruto from the moon, as so would half, and so would the someone else. That is not what I said. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. My old phone kind of gave out. As pretty much, Naruto was being watched not only by Kaguya, but by the very person who brought him to Cybertron. If you watched my first vid, you will probably understand who this person was, as it was none other than Quintessa herself. Now you're probably thinking she's just watching him to see how strong he's gotten. Not exactly. You see, when she first brought him to Cybertron, she was thinking he'll make a excellent knight, and maybe even the rank of Quintessa, or maybe even higher. As she was thinking maybe he'll be like a guard or something, or a guard or something for me. However, eventually, over and over, and through time, she would fall in love with, she would sort of get attached with Naruto. As in this one, she would sort of mind controlled, or sort of mentally controlled, old Megatron to begin the war. As, yes, she is that madly in love with this guy that she started an entire war just so they could have some alone time. Yes, pretty much. As Naruto would be out on his first mission, or the Land of Waves mission. As well, she would kind of be in a. Let me explain. Her ship, or this thing, would be hidden in a mountain somewhere, as she would pretty much have landed it in the Cloud Village, as she would have taken this human form. Yes. Do you have? This is the best I could find. Before you go like, that isn't even a good. Shut up. That isn't even a good picture. Shut up. You have no idea how hard it is to find human anime and human anime looking Quintessa pictures. You have no idea how hard it is. As pretty much Quintessa would be in this form, and of course she'd be stalking Naruto, who on Cybertron they would have named Predaking. That is the name they call him by, as Quintessa would be watching Naruto evolve. Or basically, she'd be freaking fangirl stalking him. Fangirl yandere stalking him. As same thing with Kaguya, and with Kaguya, as pretty much Naruto would be just walking around, as Kaguya would spot him. And pretty much he'd be walking around with his team. As Kage and as Quintessa would be in the bushes in a human form, cloaked with a sort of invisibility cloak, watching him. As the two brothers would appear out of nowhere, as Naruto would then say, "I got this." As Naruto would, basically the marker symbol of his sword on his back would glow orange and black, as he would pull out his sword out of his back, and then he would then say, "Hey, predic." He would then say, "Cybertronian." He would then just say, "Armageddon Blade, Armageddon Blade, H, Armageddon Blade, Firefall Strike. I'm Firefall Phoenix Strike." As orange fire, black fire, orange lava, and black lava would come out of the blade, as it would slash pretty much the one guy to dust and ashes, and one of the demon brothers to dust and ashes, as the other it would only get his lower half. As Naruto would then say, "You, tell me what I want to know, or else the same will happen to you, or far much worse." As the demon brother would then just say, alright, just don't hurt me, just don't do that to me." As Naruto would then just grin and say, "I won't, just tell me what I want to know, and I won't do that to you." As he would say, okay, we're here for that guy that the bridge builder. We're being paid to kill him." As Naruto would then say, "Okay." As he would then just put his hand, and he would then just put his blade on his back, as it would melt back into his back into his back. As he would then just put his palm on the guy's forehead, as Quintessa would then just be thinking, "He's about to mercy kill him." If you're not knowing if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, he pretty much put his palm on the guy's head, and then just said, "Mercy," and then just said, "As I said, I won't do that what I did to the other guy or anything worse." As pretty much his hand would then begin to glow, as the blade would have shapeshifted into the form of a spear through his bones and organs, as it would then just go right out of his palm and through the guy's forehead, all the way through his stomach and organs, heart, and all that. As he would say, and as the blade would then glow orange, and as the spear would then glow orange and black, as the guy would then just melt on fire. Hey, I said I wouldn't do what I did to that guy or anything worse. But this is far worse. There's a difference." As the guy would just be screaming in agony and pain, as Quintessa would think, "Mercy kill." As Kaguya would just be thinking, "Well, that was something. And now I'm horny. And now I'm horny." That's pretty much what Kaguya would just say. "That was something, and now I'm horny." As Naruto would grab his blade, and the sort of spear would just sink back into Naruto's palm, as it would turn back into a sword. As he would say, let's move forward. As they would say, okay. As Tazuna, the bridge builder, basically, they'd be walking and meet Zabuza, as Zabuza would be I would, basically he'd throw his blade, as Naruto would pull his sword out of his back and shapeshift it into a warhammer, as he would then slam it down on the blade as it was flying at them. As the blade would then crack, and then Naruto would say, reforge. As, well, black and orange lava would come out of the warhammer and onto Zabuza's blade, as the entire blade would turn into black and orange lava, as Naruto would then would just tap it once with his warhammer, as the blade would then reforge into a shield. As if you don't know why he would need a shield, well, Naruto's sword, it can do many things, but only shapeshift into, well, weapons, or melee weapons, as he needs something to protect himself with. So, a shield. As Zabuza, and as he would just grab the shield and put it on his back, as it would then melt into his back. As he would then just say, this'll be a good addition to my weapons. As he would then pretty much just begin walking, but as he took like 2 steps, Zabuza would come out of nowhere and say, hey, that's my what'd you do to my sword? Give it back. As Naruto would say, can't, it's not even a sword anymore, it's a shield. As Zabuza would basically try to kill and try to attack Naruto, as Naruto would think, God, so you're some sort of warrior? Pathetic. As he would as Naruto would grab his sword and just begin swinging. As he would think, pathetic, 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 pathetic. As Naruto would be making black and orange fire slashes, no lava because he isn't really serious, he's just thinking, this'll be a weakling, I'll play, then I'll kill him. As then Zabuza, thinking that Naruto's giving his all, is saying, is that all you got? Whatever, you weak little freak. As Naruto would then begin stop slashing, his eyes would then widen, as he'd then just say, what did you just call me? As Zabuza would say, a freak. Seriously, whose skin is orange and black? With red eyes. Are you some sort of demon? As Naruto would begin shaking angrily, as where his normal arm and where on his back, like pretty much where his shoulder blades are 2 of these arms would sprout, and then where his lower back was 2 legs would sprout, where his spine was 2 wings would sprout, and where his neck a head would sprout, as pretty much the cybertronian head would fold over Naruto's humanoid head, the 2 arms would fold over Naruto's human arms, the legs would fold over Naruto's human legs, and the wings would be where the cybertronian arms just came out of, as, well, all the human parts would just fold to make his chest. Yes, like area. As he then just say, what did you just say? As Naruto's blade would then just grow about 10 sizes, as Naruto himself would grow 10 sizes, as his eyes would then just be glowing orange, red, and black, and look slitted kinda like a dragon's, as he would then just say, Armageddon, cybertronian style, Armageddon burst, Armageddon Phoenix flames, as, well, Naruto's head would just, Naruto's mouth would open, revealing I'm revealing sharp fang-like teeth, as he would then just suck in all the air and then breathe out black, orange, and sometimes even blue flames. As he would then just say, yeah, what did you call me? And Zabuza would just say, fuck this shit, I'm out. As he would create as many distractions as he could, and when pretty much all the distractions were gone, he would be 10 miles away with Haku, just running, thinking, this is not worth our lives, this is not worth our lives, this is not worth our lives. As they would be running away. As Naruto's human parts would then just fold over the cybertronian ones, as he would say, weaklings. I wasn't even trying. As Kaguya and the seal would just be like, why do I want him even more now? Like, why do I feel like the second I'm out of here I will jump, I will strip and jump on him? As Quintessa's just thinking, Predacon is so cute, perfect, mine. As Kaguya would also be thinking, he's hers. As the two would just be thinking, the same thing. Mine, 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 mine. As, however, Quintessa and Kaguya would eventually create some sort of mental link, as Kaguya would just say, stay away from him, he's mine, as Quintessa would say, no, he's mine, I saw him first, as Kaguya would then say, whatever, cyber bitch, as Quintessa would then just say, whatever, Atsupuki, as the two would pretty much be angry, young to raise our arch enemies with each other. Sorry about the background noise if you hear that. As anyways, Naruto would be called Preda King, so yeah, Quintessa would call him Preda Kun. And Kaguya would take this nickname as well, Preda Kun. As the two would just be thinking, he's mine, he's mine, he's mine, he's mine, he's mine. And they'd be like angry Pomeranians towards each other. Just demon dogs. Meanwhile, with Naruto, he would be walking toward where they were building the bridge, as the bridge would be almost done, as Gato would appear out of nowhere. Naruto would just say, I got this. He would basically grab his blade out of his back, and then just say, Armageddon flare. As from the blade, a orange and black sort of blaze or stream of fire would come out, as it would then incinerate Gato almost instantly, as he'd just think, well, I'm dead. As Gato would just be thinking, what in the name of... And then he'd be dead. As they would call the bridge the Great Predaking Bridge, because that's the name Naruto called himself, Predaking, as it made sense. As Naruto would be walking away, as he'd just think, Frickin' weaklings. However, when Naruto got back to the Leaf Village, Quintessa made herself known to him in her human form, as she would then turn into her cybertronian form, or this form, in private, and he would just say, Quintessa, I'm sorry, I forgot to, call in, I'm sorry, as Quintessa would just be thinking, would then just say, you don't have to be sorry, and please, call me Quinn. And please, call me Quinn. As he just say, okay, Lady Quinn. As, oh dear. Naruto would then bow and just walk away. As he would then just think, so, did anyone else survive? Or he'd tell her, so, did anyone else survive or make it out? As she would say, there's only 3 of us left. As you probably know, all the refugees were destroyed when they came to this planet's, I'm gonna say that she kind of created the time vortex, as she knew Hagromo and Hamuro were prepared. Duh, of course she knew. She's pretty much a goddess. As she would say, when they got here they were obliterated. There's only 3 of us now. As Naruto would say, 3 of us? As she would say, of course, you, me, and Dragonstorm. He's the only one left. He's the only one besides us that's left. As Naruto would then just say, where is he? As they would just say, he's on a place called the Moon. Of course, she called this place Ace Kaguya's cell. Or she would begin calling this place Kaguya's cell, but to Naruto and other humans, she would call it the Moon. As we go to the Moon, as Kaguya would kind of be getting wet in the seal, just watching, peeping on Naruto, as she would think, that stupid cybertronian, he's mine. As she would kind of just be hissing in the seal, and slamming it with rage and anger. And of course lust. As she would then feel some sort of interference at the seal, as she would then see a being made of 13 essences, or basically she would see 13 sort of swirling synthetic metals, like 13 tornadoes made of synthetic metals collide together. As then Dragonstorm would appear out of nowhere and say, where am I? Huh? Where am I? As he would, and as Kaguya would then say, you're in my seal, how did you even get here? As Dragonstorm would then just say, I got here by crash landing, I guess you could say. I'm a cybertronian, the name is Dragonstorm. You, as she would say, Otsutsuki. I'm Kaguya Otsutsuki. As Dragonstorm would then say, you're an Otsutsuki. Please do not use your trickery on me and kill me. As she would then just say, trickery? You mean chakra? As he'd say, I guess that's what you call it? I don't know, just don't kill me. As Dragonstorm would then say, I do not know how powerful you are. I'm sort of on my own here. I have no idea if there's any survivors. As she would then say, oh, there's. Oh, I guess, and that makes 3 cybertronians. As he would then just say, pardon? Wait, 3 of us? Pardon? What did you say? What do you mean by that? As she would then just open these. As she would then basically just zoom in where Naruto was and see and show Naruto. As he would say, Predaking! Whew. Thank goodness my student's alive. As she would then just say, wait, he's your student? As he would then say, I guess you could say that. He's my extremely powerful student who has gained power far beyond my conception. And I'm one of the strongest cybertronians. As pretty much. Yeah. As he would then say, is there now who's the third Cybertronian alive? As she would then say, someone named Quintessa. I don't care for her. As she would then just zoom in next Naruto and then say, cloaking device off. As pretty much in the seal she could see he threw cloaks and genjutsus and things like that. As he would then just, and as they would then see, and as Dragonstorm would then see Quintessa near Naruto. Near the one he calls Predaking, but Naruto and everyone else would call him Naruto. As pretty much Predaking was his godly warrior name, as Naruto is the name you call him when he's not doing anything much. As Kaguya would then just say, is it alright if I kind of have developed a crush on your student? As Dragonstorm would then just say, an Otsutsuki develops feelings for a Cybertronian? I should say, yes, he's very powerful, it seems, and maybe you could tell me some of his interests, likes, dislikes, those types of things. As Naruto would then just say, alright. Well, his name's Naruto, obviously. Well, he has 2 names, Naruto and Predaking. His likes are victory, fighting, training, and then of course he likes doing something called, I guess, moonwalking and moonwatching, as he goes to entire distances and lengths to look at moons, as he finds them kind of interesting. However, all of us are just confused by it. But I mean, hey, he's basically a god where we're from, so yeah. As she would say, do you have any idea where we are right now? As he would then just say, a seal, as you told me. As she would then just say, the seal is in a moon. We are inside of a moon. Wait, did you make a hole or crack through the seal when you came through here? As she would then look at basically the seal and see that, well, as I explained, Otsutsukis and Cybertronians, their types of powers don't really go good together. What I mean by that is the very aura of Cybertronian technology when it crash landed on the moon kind of corroded or decayed the seal. As, yeah, the seal is basically falling apart. Meanwhile, with Hagoromo, he's just trying to tighten the seal and put the pieces back together. As he's just like, why won't you tighten? As he then sees Dragonstorm just in the seal, like, I have no, I no, I do not have a clue what's going on here. As he would then just think, what, boy, the what? As he would just say, well, I guess. Eh. As Naruto would then just exit the seal, as he would then say, yeah, that was unexpected. And as Dragonstorm would pretty much just exit the seal and say, yeah, I guess you can leave now. As Kaguya then just say, oh goody, oh goody. As she would go into a sort of human looking form. What I mean by that is the horns kind of sink in, her skin kind of becomes a bit less pale, her eyes become looking a bit normal as her hair gets a bit shorter. And she goes into regular Konoichi looking clothes. As she pretty much just floats down. As Naruto and as Quintessa just sees her and Kaguya just sees Quintessa, as the two just look at each other like, as Dragonstorm just says, Naruto, there you are. Naruto, there you are. Welcome to the Otsutsuki region, I guess. Quintessa, have you explained to him anything yet? As she would just say, oh, I forgot. Naruto, where we are, is a place called the Otsutsuki region, as your communicator might have said. The Otsutsuki are a race of beings sort of like Transformers, but exact opposites of Transformers, as they use some sort of Otsutsuki trickery called chakra to manipulate elements. They go to worlds and cultivate their life energy, while we go to worlds and cultivate their species. As this world is kind of new, and as this world kind of just looks peaceful, and all of our cultivation gear was kind of destroyed. What I mean, now, what I mean by that, guys, is pretty much let's cut back to the war. As Megatron, or Alpha Trion, he calls himself, would have kind of just summoned a ginormous sort of serpent like. Basically, he would have just summoned, what's it called again? Trionus? No. What's the name of the giant Decepticon space station again? Trion? No. Basically, he would have. It's basically like a giant Godzilla-sized Transformer. Like, compared to Transformers, it's Godzilla. It's like Godzilla's size. As it's a purple and black Decepticon that I cannot remember the name of. As it can turn into kind of like a spaceship or space station that is powered by Dark Energon. As pretty much Megatron would have summoned this giant Decepticon thing and then just said, eradicate them so they cannot survive so they cannot create any more soldiers. eradicate all of our cultivation materials so they cannot create any more allies where they go. As as the Decepticon would just look at him like, "Are you serious? All right, you're the boss." As he would just charge up a purple beam, a purple laser beam, and just obliterate them all, and obliterate all the cultivation materials, all of these seeds, as they are called, as they are called, as well. Of course, this was by Queen Tessa's orders, as she would say, "We have no cultivation materials, so we cannot cultivate this world, but rather just live on it." As they would say, "Well, we cannot cultivate from this world, we can live on it. And therefore, we will have to, if the need arises, go for the Otsutsuki method and eat a chakra fruit. That is, if there's any left on this world. But there probably is not, so that's a losing bet." As Kaguya in her humanoid form would just think, "Perfect. If I give Naruto-kun, if I give Naruto one of a, if I give Naruto a chakra fruit, then he won't just become half human, half cybertronian. He will either become half human, half cybertronian, half Otsutsuki, or he'll become half Otsutsuki, half cybertronian, or just half human, half Otsutsuki." Which all these would really be good matchups as long as there's Otsutsuki in there. As Kaguya would just say, she would basically just introduce herself as Kaguya, as she would not show her true self in front of Naruto just yet. As Naruto would then just say, "Oh, I'm Naruto. I'm a half human, half cybertronian." Or he'd just say, "I'm a powerful sort of being. I guess you could say a god." As well, Kakashi would eventually then just go to the teams and say, "Alright, we have," and he'd basically go to Lord Third and say, "There is a new Jonin in town. He calls himself Dragonstorm. I guess that's his original name. He is a Jonin level, at least a Jonin level. He is Naruto's master. He's at least Jonin level, at most Hokage level. But I mean, yeah, he's that powerful." As he would just say, "Bring him in." As well, Naruto, he would just say, "Bring him in." As Naruto would, as Dragonstorm would just enter in a sort of human-looking form. In this human-looking form, he would have sort of human-looking skin, and he would have human skin, red and black hair, red and black. I mean, like, he would have red and orange eyes. Pretty much, yeah. He would look like Gaara mixed with Sasuke. Pretty much. Gaara mixed with Sasuke. What I mean, the mixed with Sasuke part is the black eyes, the edginess, and the seriousness, and the Sharingans. Except imagine the Sharingans like Transformer eyes with the hexagons. As Gaara would be the red. Basically, you can kind of imagine it, right? As Dragonstorm would walk in, and he's at least 3 feet I'm 3 inches bigger than Kakashi in this human form. As he would then walk in and say, "My name is Dragonstorm. I am a, well, as you can, as you probably know, um, Jiraiya, I guess your name is, as yes, Jiraiya is Hokage. No, the third is not dead. He's just retired." As he would say, "I am Naruto's mentor from where we are from, a place far off in the stars, I guess you could say." As he would say, but yeah, pretty much I want to be a, guess you could say, Jonin, because I want to teach some of my skills to the human folk, along with Naruto, of course. As he would say, "Alright, you're going to Naruto's team." It has 3, I guess you could say, normal human genin. As he would just say, "Yes, I can finally teach some of my tactics to the youngins." As he would then transform into like 13 spirals of um, synthetic metal, as they would then turn into what appeared to be 13 genin. I mean 13 chunin. As if you don't know, Dragonstorm is made up of 13 or 12 knights. Yeah, it's 13. As yeah, because the Fallen is a knight, so yeah, that'd be 13. Or I guess you could say they're called the 13 primes. As Naruto, as the 13 would then just go, "Alright, alright. So where will we be leaving?" And so where will we be living? As the 12 would most likely just be like, you know, knights. Strict by the code, live and die by the sword. You know, that. As the 13th would kind of just be the Sasuke out of the group. The loner, edgy guy who doesn't talk to anyone. As he would then just pull out his staff spear weapon thing that we see in Transformers 2, I believe, yeah. As he would then just say, or it's called Rise of the Fallen, as he would then just say, "So where will our living quarters be?" As they would and just say, "Oh, your living quarters will be on your home, I guess you could say, will be the palace that a whole bunch of people have built for Naruto, as they have viewed him as a god." As the 13 primes would then just say, as 12 of the 13 would say, "Alright, alright, woohoo, we get to live in the palace." As, well, the Fallen would just say, "Of course, they're treating," as he would just say, "Typical. Of course, the one who's basically a god gets himself a palace. Oh well, perhaps there's nothing we can do." As he would just say, "Alright, everyone, you ready?" As they would say, "Ready." As the 13 primes would then transform back into Dragonstorm, as he would say, "Sorry about that. Having 13 alternate personalities is kind of a bit of a problem. Sometimes they just want to, get out and smell the air, or look at the scenery, that type of thing." as he then just pretty much walked away. As they're like, okay, I guess that kind of counts as a shadow clone, a sort of clone, I guess you could say. As he would say, I mean, yeah, they're kind of clones, just with each different personalities. I can make multiple versions of them at the same time, of course. And separate versions, not just 13 all at once. But if you make at least, but like if there's 13 of me, then yeah, I will not be here. I'm like, even if I make 11, I will still be here. It's just that I will have a bit of a split consciousness, you can say. And she would then just say, alright, let's go. As next day, like, pretty much the time of the tuning exams would pass. Or the time of the tuning exams would pass. I don't know if anyone likes that or not. I'm sorry, it's just something that this one YouTuber I watch does. His name's Jeff the What Ifer, and nowadays, whenever he does a what if, and he just goes, and he says, tuning exams, he puts the mic right next to his mouth, and it's just annoying. Like, imagine it's 9 a.m. or 10:30, and it's the weekend, you're about to fall asleep, and you're just put on a guy who whispers a lot in his videos, who in his videos whispers a lot just to relax yourself, and then out of nowhere, he says, now, I think it's time for the tuning exams, and it just friggin' annoys you. Anywho, but pretty much, Naruto and would get two, team members, as Team 7 would literally become a team of, well, 1, 2, 5, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Pretty much Team 7 would become a team of 7. Now, if you're wondering, well, what's the entire team? Then I'll tell you. The team is Sasuke, Menma, Sakura, Kakashi, Naruto, Dragonstorm, and Kaguya. As Quintessa and Quintessa. As Kaguya will be joined into the team of 8, and we'll make it a team of 8 soon. As right now, she's just looking for a chakra fruit she kind of left behind, as it was twice as big and as it was a bit bigger than the one she ate, as she would think. And I need to find it. It will give Naruto the power. It will give Naruto an amazing change, as maybe it will even turn him, and as then we will be able to mate or marry. As well, let's get to the tuning exams. I'm the tuning exams. As Naruto would just be walking over. Naruto and his 2 senseis would, because I'm going to skip the first part of the tuning exams, so yeah, they'd be at the Forest of Death, as they would have a Heaven Scroll and need to get an Earth Scroll. As Naruto would be walking around with his whole team, as they'd be like, we need to get a Earth Scroll, Earth Scroll, Earth Scroll, Earth Scroll, as they would see, well, Orochimaru with a Earth Scroll, disguised as a grass jonin, a grass genin, I believe. But yeah, he was disguised as a participant, as he would just think, and as Naruto, of course, would just see Orochimaru disguised as a genin, as he would just think, easy. As he would pretty much grab his sword and just swing it around, and he would just grab it out of his back, as Orochimaru, after seeing this, would be absolutely amazed, just thinking, what in the holy name of grace is this? Well, now I want him as a body, as he would just bite Sasuke like cannon, and then go to bite Naruto, as when he bit Naruto's neck, and as when he bit Naruto, something unexpected would happen. As Naruto's skin, if you did not know right now, is made of a synthetic metal, because he is half Transformer, half human. Well, right now. With quite godly power already. As he would then just say, hey, what? Why are you trying to bite me? As Orochimaru's teeth would just shatter. He'd just say, what in the world are you made of? As Naruto would then just say, oh yeah, I'm a god made of metal, or synthetic metal, I guess you could call it. As he would then just pull his sword, as he would just transform his sword into a scythe and say, die. As he would just be swinging it at Orochimaru, as Orochimaru would just be trying to dodge. He'd be dodging the swings of the blade, but he would not know the lava and fire, as black fire and black lava and orange fire and orange lava would pour out of the blade each time he swinged it around, as Orochimaru would be like, what in the hell? As Naruto would then pull his scythe out of his shield out of his back, as the scythe would turn back into its sword form, as he would then just say, final God, as he would then just say, hey, fire God strike. Fire God's Armageddon strike. As he would strike Orochimaru right in the heart, or where his heart would be, as Orochimaru would just regurgitate himself. Yeah, it's a weird process of healing, I guess you could say. I don't really like it, but hey, a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. As Orochimaru would regurgitate himself to heal, as Naruto would keep slashing and Orochimaru would keep regurgitating, as he would just think, so, you're just going to slash and slash aimlessly, huh? As Naruto would then go through the whole transforming process I mentioned earlier, and turn into this form. As he would then just say, hey, Armageddon style, Solar Strike. As in Naruto's chest what appeared to be a small sun formed. As it would then draw in the energy of the universe, or the energy of the planet, basically. Like, basically all the chakra in a miles vicinity that was not Otsutsuki chakra, that it was not Kage's, would be absorbed and just shot into, and would just be absorbed and collected into this sun, as it would then just be turned into a hot, blazing solar beam, and just not even, it would just obliterate Orochimaru's arms and legs as he would just think, what in the, as he would regurgitate himself again. Very weird, I know. As he'd just think, fuck this shit, I'm out. Yeah, he would Zabuza that shit. As I said, Zabuza just went yeet. As he would, and as Naruto would then just have his hand glowing still in this form, as his hand would be glowing orange and white, not orange and black, or yeah, orange and white, as he would basically put his hand on Sasuke's curse mark, as the curse mark would then just pretty much melt and disintegrate away. As he would say, there you go. Got rid of that nasty bite mark on you. As they would get to the tower, and the whole thing with the preliminaries would happen, as pretty much any battle that Naruto had would just be instantly KO'd. And then we go to the actual Chunin exams, as the first fight, I believe, would be Naruto versus Kiba, or Naruto versus Neji. Anywho, Naruto would fight Kiba first, as Kiba would just think, weakling, you're a freaking weakling, die. As Naruto would right now be in his human form, as he would say, Phoenix style wind blast, like Phoenix style wings of death, as his two giant dragon wings you see right here, like half of those, like those wings but half the size, would come out of Naruto's back, as he would then just flap his wings once, and a ginormous amount of air pressure would just come hurling towards Kiba, as he would then just be sent into the wall, knocked out. As Naruto would then just say, weak. And then next is Naruto versus Neji. Neji, of course, would just be like, what in the... Well, I guess I'll have to fight you with most of my strength, and with my all. As Neji would be trying to attack him and be being as fast as he can, but somehow be missing. As did I mention, Naruto is a god. So he will, because of his godly strength and godly origin, will have a power which some of you may know, but it will not be mastered or perfected until he eats the chakra fruit Kage is getting him. As, yes, the power I'm talking about is from Dragon Ball Z, Ultra Instinct. As he is basically moving so fast and dodging all of Neji's attacks, as Neji is just like, why won't you get hit? As he then just, as Neji is trying his all, trying to harm Naruto, as Naruto, with Neji, he's giving his all, he's doing everything possible, and with Naruto, it's just an average Tuesday. And Neji's just wondering, why won't you die? And why won't you get hit? Why can't I hurt you? As Naruto would then just say, because I'm not allowing you to. As he would then just say, Armageddon style, as he would then just say, Armageddon style, Hellfire, or hell flare, as he would then, basically, his head would turn into this head you see in this photo, as he would then just begin spewing black and orange fire out of his mouth. Well, it would be in black and orange sort of fireball. As it would just hit Neji, but it would not do much physical damage other than melt his arms and his skin on his hands and face. Pretty much all his, basically all of his first layer of skin would be melted off, as he would then be sent into a wall, as Naruto would win. Now we go on to Naruto versus Sasuke, as Sasuke would just be there about to fight Naruto, as he would think, you won't be able to beat me, wherever you are. As Naruto would then just say, they all say that, you know, and no one ever wins. And no one ever wins. As he would just say. And as Naruto would pretty much just say, a Armageddon technique, speed of Armageddon style, speed of thought strike, as Naruto would pretty much be going at the speed of thought, which, if you did not know, is extremely fast. It's faster than the speed of light by, a lot. As Naruto would be going so fast that no one, not even if you had a Rene Sharingan with EMS, or if you had, all the Sharingans in existence, EMS maxed out, if you even had all the Rene Sharingans or all the eyes in existence, you couldn't even be able to calculate how fast he is. That's how fast Naruto is going right now. As he would be running so fast, as he would pretty much just have his sword out and be slashing from all directions, as Sasuke would somehow be dodging half of these attacks, as he's just I'm moving at random locations trying to dodge. As for him, basically, there would be a billion slashes every 2 seconds. That's how fast Naruto is moving. As Naruto would then just say, I think that's enough. Armageddon style, I'll spin dash. As he would, yes, basically, Naruto would begin glowing and spinning around, kind of like how Sonic the Hedgehog does, as his entire body would turn into it. And from a viewing point, it would look like he is turning into a giant orange and black and gray shuriken. And it's on fire, spinning with orange and black aura around it, as it's just blazing around, and as it's just spinning at the speed of thought, as then Naruto in this form just begins zooming around, creating a freaking class Mach 5 or 10 hurricane, just creating a giant storm of fire, flames, and wind. Yes, I know, I said of fire and flames. I did not say through the fire and the flames, so you cannot copyright that. And by the way, that is not copyrightable, what I just said. As Naruto would just be going extremely fast, creating a giant tornado of fire, wind, and flame, as he'd just be going at speeds of thought, circling around Sasuke, as he would say, as he would then just say, I saw a sage use this once, a guy with white hair and looked like he had a lot of makeup on, as he would just say, Armageddon style. Armageddon style. Eclipse Rasengan, as he would create an orange and black Rasengan spinning around with godly energy in his arm, as he would just shove it down in the middle of this ginormous tornado of fire, wind, and flame, as on Sasuke, as he would just kaboom, as the tornado would just stop. All the fire and flame would just disappear, dissipate, as you could see Sasuke just there pummeled into the ground. As he'd just say, and that wasn't even 10% of my power. And that was only 50% of my power. As he would then just say, as that it was only 10% of my power. Yes, I know I'm making Naruto friggin' OP. So what? If you don't like OP characters, then get out of my What If channel and unsubscribe, because I freaking love making OP characters. If you like OP characters, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and smash those notifications, so you can get new OP vids, okay? As Sasuke would just be, as Naruto would basically just teleport Sasuke to the infirmary, as before the Gaara fight, we would have Naruto versus Menma. As Menma would just think, well, I'm about to die. As Naruto would just say, Eclipse Rasengan. Eclipse Rasengan. As he would just summon his Eclipse Rasengan and just shove it into Menma's chest, as well. Kurama would just think, there's a link, finally. He's touched him. And he's not going at the speed of thought or any enhanced speeds, so I should be able to do this. As Kurama leaks half of his in this, Menma has a bigger chakra pool, so Minato thought, okay, I'll be able to give him most of my chakra, and I'll be able to give him the full 9 tails, as he did. So basically, yeah, Kurama just slips in the 50 good percent and the 50 good half of him into Naruto. Because, Menma's just a jerk, so he deserves all the bad he can get. That's what Kurama's thinking, as he just slips in 50% of his chakra into Naruto, along with 50% of the soul, as he's just like, bye, bitch. And the good part of Kurama is just like, bye, bitch. As, well, Naruto then, well, he barely notices this, actually he doesn't, but when he does the Eclipse Rasengan to Menma, the orange and black, sort of the orange and black, Kurama's chakra, basically, it then just surges up his hand, but he can't even feel or see it, as Kurama just enters Naruto's mindscape, as he's just basically what Naruto's mindscape looks like. Freaking imagine a palace underneath the sun. Basically imagine a palace that is on an island that is somewhat in between yin and yang. Waterfalls, rivers, mountains, valleys, basically an entire yin and yang landscape. As Kurama is just like, I could definitely get used to this. I could definitely get used to this. As he then just says, and just to make sure no bitches get me out of here, and I already know this kid's strong enough, and this guy's some sort of god, so he'll be able to take it, as he then just says, yes, I'm giving Kurama the ability to permanently seal himself in. He cannot be extracted. As Kurama then just says, says 9 Biju style, permanent sealing. As pretty much the reason why all of Biju will have this in this what if, it's just the reason they do not do it is because no mortal, it would pretty much make a human a god. Pretty much just overload a human with chakra and explode them and the Biju, as this is basically considered a suicide move. However, with Naruto, he don't got chakra. Well, not yet. As even when he does get chakra, he will still 1,000,000% be able to hold the Nine Tails in and not explode himself or the Nine Tails. As Naruto, basically, he then is called next fight, Naruto versus Quintessa. Naruto versus Quinn, because that's the name she is called on Earth. As Quintessa would just walk out saying, I'll go easy on you. I'm saying, let's go 10% on each other, right? As in the, basically, Quintessa is weaker than Naruto, even at basically 100% of her strength is equal to 50% of Naruto's strength. Well, is equal to 10% of her strength, so Naruto is only using 1% of his strength to sort of, equal out the odds, because she's only using 10. So yeah. As Naruto goes into his speedy shuriken mode I explained earlier, as he's just dashing around and says, Infernal Typhoon. As basically he does the thing he did with Sasuke, except it isn't creating like a giant tornado. It's creating, how can I explain this? It's like the giant tornado, except it's like a drill that's swirling down and hitting Quintessa. As Quintessa is using shields and trying to manipulate gravity, as this is what she is doing, as everyone just begins floating out of their seats. However, with Naruto, he just says, not this time, as he just has his two arms, the two transformer arms, grow out of his back and just dig into the ground, as he thinks, this battle is mine. As he then just says, Armageddon style, Divine Beam, Divine Blaze. As he then just creates a orange, white, and black, like, basically, imagine the yin and yang symbol that's black and white, except the two dots in the middle are orange, and the circle is like orange, and the thing separating the black and white is orange. Basically, imagine that. And, imagine a fireball that looks like that, as it is just hurling towards Quintessa, as she's just like, oh crap. And then Quintessa just is knocked out and while she's knocked out, she's healing herself. Because she's basically repairing herself. As Naruto is just like, did I go a bit too rough? They're just like, pretty sure. As Naruto then just says, oh well, guess I win. As then they're like, not yet, you have one last battle. As Naruto's just like, huh? As it is Gaara. As Gaara's just like, bring it on. So, you appear to be strong. Well, at least I'll be able to kill someone who's far stronger than a Kage. Or at least it looks like you're stronger than a Kage. As Naruto then just says, alright. And then Naruto, he just yawns and instantly falls asleep because I'm gonna say Kurama has the ability to induce sleep, as he then just places Naruto in like a hammock in the mindscape gently, as he's just like, alright, time to control this body just to beat Tanuki. As Naruto's eyes then becomes slitted. Not just black and red, they become slitted like Kurama's eyes. As he then just says, ooh wait, Tanuki, you're about to die. And Tanuki, you're about to die. As, well, inside of Gaara's mindscape, Shikaku is just like, Tanuki? Oh wait. As he then, pretty much in Gaara's mind, he just replays a couple of memories and sees when Menma, because he knew that Menma was the Jinchuriki of Kurama, he then just saw when Menma was hit with the Eclipse Rasengan, that Kurama's chakra, just like half of Kurama's chakra just slipped through into Naruto, and he's just like, shiz. Something's telling me that Kurama did it before I could. As Gar's just like, what? Pretty much, I was planning to slip through the seal when he touched you and go into his body. However, Kurama did that before me, so crap. And seeing how divinely powerful this guy is, I'm guessing that he did a permanent seal, meaning that he cannot be extracted, taken, copied, cloned. Basically, Kurama is now an essential part of this guy's body. Pretty much, he's like a bone or organ or piece of his brain now, or part of his soul. He's permanently, well, Kurama is still a consciousness and form, power and all that. He is pretty much essentially now a part of that guy, and of Naruto. As he then just says, well, time to get our butts kicked. As he then just says, also it appears that he's sort of induced the Naruto to sleep and taken over his body, which means, and he knows that you're my Jinchuriki, so yeah, we're probably pissed, and so yeah, we're probably screwed. As Kurama then just says, alright, now let's see what type of godly styles this guy has. As he is pretty much in a side part of Naruto's mindscape right now, and he says, alright, types of attacks. And he just sees all of Naruto's memorized and created attacks. As he's just like, oh, I cannot wait to use these. as when the battle is allowed, Kurama just says, Kurama in Naruto's voice, just says, alright, boil, divine katana, divine, alright, divine whirlwind slash, as he summons the sword out of Naruto's back, and out of, basically Kurama's in control, he summoned the sword out of Naruto's back, and slashes at, well, he just slashes at, what's his name? Yeah, at Shikaku, and Shikaku's just like, shit, 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 as he's just hit. And Gaara is instantly knocked out, and Shikaku takes form and says, crap. As, well, Shikaku goes into his full Shikaku form as, well, Kurama then just goes, oh yeah. Now let's see here. Infernal Blaze, Infernal Hell's Blazing. Alright. Infernal Hell Blazing Shurikens. As he then just creates a billion giant flaming shurikens, and at the speed of thought, they all just go circling and just slashing around at Shikaku, and he's just like, why? Why are you bullying me? And he just says, now, I wanted to do this since I saw Naruto do it to Menma. Eclipse Ras, and he just smiles and says, Eclipse Rasengan. And he just slams it down. Well, first he does the tornado, and then he just says, Eclipse Rasengan. And he just slams it down into Naruto's chest, and into Gaara / Shikaku's chest right now, as Shikaku, the entire Saiyan body of Shikaku, it instantly begins to melt apart, as Shikaku then just is knocked out, and Gaara takes back control. But both of them are knocked out, so it's just like a plain sleeping Gaara. And he just said, well, Kurama just says, oh yeah, I can definitely get used to this. As he then just yeets himself back into the mindscape and says, I can definitely get used to this. As Naruto is like, did I get knocked out or something? As they're just like, you won! The winner, Naruto! As Naruto's just like, well, I guess that solves that. Weird, how'd I win? And he just walks home to the giant temple he made, that villagers and Buddhists all made for him, as he's just like, okay. As he then just begins to fall asleep, as Kurama kind of just yanks his consciousness into the mindscape, and he's just like, hello. And Naruto is just like, who is you? And why are you in my mind? And who is you? And why are we in my mind? As he's just like, oh, the name's Kurama. I'm the Nine Tails. Because this is the yang side of Kurama. Like, the good part of Kurama. No bad. Not even an ounce or atom of bad. As he's just like, yeah, people call me the Nine Tails. You may call me Kurama. I'm kind of now permanently a part of you. So let's exchange names. My name's Kurama. Your name, I'm guessing, is Naruto. Yeah. just one question. How do you know all these freaking god powers? Like, I mean, seriously. You just are a beast. And Naruto's just like, I mean, thanks? But what do you mean you're, like, permanently a part of me now? And she's just like, oh, that. Um, I kind... You see, I kinda slipped out half of myself in through Menma when you hit him with that Eclipse Rasengan, which I mean is a powerful attack. I mean seriously, good job up on the attack. As he then just goes, but yeah, pretty much yeah, pretty much I kinda slipped through when you touched him, and I kinda permanently sealed myself in here, so yeah, I'm like now a part of you. Like, there's no possible way in all of existence that you could ever get me out and that no one could ever take me out. So yeah, I'm about as essential for you as your blood, organs, heart, or anything essential to you in any way. So yeah, I'm pretty much like just a part of you now. So yeah, like I can give you all so I can give you my power, but I mean that would just be a multiplier for you. So yeah, um, I can give you. I could take over and just freaking Shrek everyone like I just did. Um, Tanuki over there. So yeah, that's a plus. But yeah, pretty much you and I are now one. Well, not permanent, not really one, but you kind of get what I mean. As he's just like, okay. As in the morning, Naruto is walking. Naruto is pretty much just walking in the woods as Kaguya walks over to him and says, Naruto, I found you something. As Naruto's just like, what? As she just says, oh, something called a chakra fruit, or you could call it a Shinju fruit. It's a powerful type of fruit which could give you strength. As Naruto's like, okay, I never pass upon free strength. As Kaguya's just like, yes, hook, line, and sinker. Soon I'll be able to show my true form around him, and then he will be, and then we'll just have to see what happens. As Naruto's just like, okay, and she then hands him the fruit, and Naruto's just like, okay, guess I should start eating this fruit then? Like, do I eat the whole thing or just a part of it? And she's just like, for full power, yeah, the whole thing. And she's just like, yeah, you might want to eat the whole thing. And it'll give you like a big power boost. As Naruto's just like, okay. And he just eats the whole fruit. And then he just says, okay, that was a good fruit. That was good food. Then Naruto begins feeling woozy and falls over and says, whoa, what was in... And he just falls over. Azkagi is just like, yes, perfect. Now he's like me. Now soon he'll be like me. It will be. And then, well, determined on what happens, if he's still part cybertronian or not. If, and, well, then that will pretty much be a claiming on him. on my part, and then I will have claimed him, or then I will mark him as my own. No other Otsutsuki will be able to get him, and then I'll just have to show up, or upstage that, Quint, that cybertronian girl. As she is just like, perfect. Now, where to put him while he is hibernating? She's just like, oh, I know. As she then does some hand seals and hand signs, and then just summons Zetsu. As Zetsu comes out of the ground and says, yes, mother? Um, how are you out? She just says, long story, can you bring this boy who, can you bring this boy to a hidden place where he will not be found, and he can sort of go through a transformation process without anyone knowing or seeing or finding him, as he's just like, okay, mother, as he just brings Naruto to, like, basically, he brings Naruto to the Akatsuki cave, except he just makes a hidden area, like an entire attic or basement in the cave, and he's just like, okay. So I guess we just put you there. As he just puts Naruto on, like, the floor and just says, you must interest Mom a lot, and you must interest Mother a lot. As he then just as he then just says, I wonder. As he touches Naruto, and just slides in, kind of fusing himself with him like he kind of did with Obito, but not like fusing, just, being in half of him. As he's just there, and he just poofs into the mindscape, kind of, and he's just like, holy bloody. And he sees Kurama is there, and he just sees Kurama sort of looking like he's in the Bahamas, just drinking a martini out of a coconut. He's just like, this is life. And he's just like, the Nine Tails? Why? What? Is this the Jinchuriki? It says, no, I'm now a new part of this guy. As I permanently sealed myself in this guy. As he's just like, you used a Biju seal, and you used the Biju seal on this guy, then why isn't he exploding or dead? As he's just like, because he's a god, duh. As he then just says, let me show you something. Before you ask, I am only half of the Nine Tails. I'm only the good half. Okay, the name's Kurama. Yeah, but let me show you something. As he basically brings him to Naruto's subconscious, where he then shows him all of Naruto's memorized and used attacks. As he's just like, bloody hell. And he says, and that's not all. As he then just keeps scrolling through the attacks. As Zetsu's just like, bloody hell, then why is this guy knocked out? As he then says, some in the digestive system, as, well, he then just says, can I see his chakra pool? As he's just like, sure. But I gotta warn you, as they get to the chakra pool, and he's just like, it's usually empty, says Kurama, as he's just looking at what appears to be a giant ocean of chakra. A infinite ocean of chakra. As he's just like, holy bloody hell, what happened? As, 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 as this guy, Naruto, he ate a Shinju fruit, or better known as a chakra fruit. Pretty much, those things can turn people, or those things can turn people into Otsutsuki, as he is going under a process. Now, where in the mindscape is he? As he says, when he's usually going under through processes or transformations, and when he's usually just meditating or something, he's over there, as he just points to a dark, shallow corner of the mindscape, as Zetsu just walks over there and is like, "Hello, Naruto? Are you over here?" As he just sees pretty much this, just meditating in a sort of meditating crisscross pose, just going, "Yes, my name is Naruto. Welcome to my mind." As he's just like, "Ah, okay. So, let me explain what's happening to you. You ate something called a Shinju fruit. So your entire DNA is being altered. So what is your DNA makeup?" As he says, 50% human, 50% cybertronian. And he's just like, "Ah, um, so would like either you will become half human, half Otsutsuki, possibly one of the worst combos, half Otsutsuki, and you'll become half Otsutsuki, half cybertronian, or there will be possibly no effect," which is obviously not true, because we have seen your chakra pools. They're just growing infinite. As we go to, as Zetsu just waltzes out, as Kaguya is right next to Naruto and is just like, so, is anything happening? As he just goes, one, his chakra pools were 0, now they're infinite. So yeah, I guess from eating a Shinju fruit, he's becoming quite literally a somewhat Otsutsuki. As, yeah, safe to say, he might be one of the most powerful beings to ever exist, because of what you just did. And she's just like, "I know, but hey, the best for the ones we love, right?" As she accidentally let this slip out, and he's just like, "You love this guy? Wait, you love this guy?" And she's just like, "Crap, did I say that out loud?" And her mind's just like, "Crap, did I say that out loud?" And she's just like, so what? What if I do like him? So what if I do like him?" And Zetsu's just like, "I don't care. I'm, of course, it's bravo, you like someone. You're in love." As he's just like, "But yeah, you're probably one of the most powerful beings to ever exist, so good for you. Yay." As Naruto then, we do a time skip of 3 months, as Quintess is just like, "Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he?" As every, as Dragon Sword is just like, where's my star pupil? Like, where is the boy I practically raised?" And everyone is just like, "Where is that freaking OP god that we saw at the Chunin exams? I mean, he's possibly the strongest being on Earth. We need him in our village to just be here to protect us. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what. Yeah, and we need Naruto here. As we go to where Kaguya is, as Naruto's process is finally finished, as he looks something like. As Naruto then unlocks a new fourth form, this form. Now, this will be his new base form, as this form he will no longer have. So, kaboof. He will still have his Transformer form and his Cybertronian form. It's just basically all the human has been eradicated from him. So imagine his skin paler, his hair like a light blue. Okay, just imagine that. And basically you have Naruto, the half Cybertronian, half Otsutsuki. And meanwhile with Kurama, he's just like, ah, so he's a rare combination of two gods. So basically he's now a king of gods, I guess you could say, or god of gods. As Naruto basically, he awakens and says, who am I? Who are you? Where am I? As Kaguya then explains that she is Kaguya and that she had Naruto eat the fruit to turn him into this. As Naruto then asks why, she asks to marry him. Because as she then explains her whole life, as she then explains seeing Naruto for the first time, and wanting to marry him. As Naruto pretty much just understands, as he says, I'll marry you under one condition. As she says, anything. As Naruto then just says, we go back to Leaf and get Quintessa. As I will marry both of you. Understood? As Kaguya then says, Alright, Naruto. As he then just says, good. Now this is where we leave off. Hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah. I mean, it's a bit of a long one, so hope you enjoyed. Hope you like, share, comment, subscribe, and wait for a new outro. Sorry, sorry I got the outro wrong. Sorry, this will not happen in any more outro videos. It's just this one time, for this is my first outro ever, so do not judge me, okay?